That looks good, doesn't it? But that's not what today's video is all about. Hi, this is Dan from Book Pitt, and there are some bad comics out there. Really bad comics. And it's not enough just to get rid of these comics or trade them or give them away or even throw them away. Sometimes extreme measures have to be taken. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to deep fry a comic book. First thing we need to do is find our comic book. Well, look at that. Youngblood number 71. The relaunch by McLaughlin, Malin, and Liefeld. I talked about this book a few weeks ago on the show. It's a bad book. I'm not going to go into the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it's just a bad book. So we're going to take care of this right now. We're going to give this the send-off it deserves. So what do we need to deep fry a comic? First, you need egg. You need to break a couple eggs open, stir them up, get them nice and mixed, and then we're going to take our comic and we're going to cover it in egg yolk. So in order to do that, we're going to give ourselves some room here. Bear with me, this is the first time I've ever deep fried in a comic. So we're going to, we're going to cover it up there. We're going to get it all nice and covered. Don't forget the back. Sorry, Planetoid. You're a collaborator. Friendly fire. Nothing personal. Next thing we want to do is take our breading. In this case, I have a nice breading made up of saltine crackers crumbled up with some salt, some pepper, some mashed potato flakes, and some flour. So there we go. We're going to get it nice and mushy. Get it all nice and breaded. Flip it over. Get the rest in there. Yeah. There you go. Nice deep fried Youngblood. Okay. So now that you got your comic book all breaded, next step is the fryer. Okay, so we have our freshly breaded copy of Youngblood number 71, and I would just like to preface this by saying I do not condone doing this at home. If you do need to do this, make sure it's supervised. I am not a trained professional, but I am an adult, and adults sometimes do stupid things. Here's your frying pan, all oiled up, and full of greasy chicken goodness from dinner. And here we go. Doesn't quite fit, so you gotta kind of make it fit. Just push it in there. Let's turn the heat up a little bit. Let's get that nice and coated with the grease and the oil. Just fry it up. Like I said, this is potentially dangerous, so I don't condone anybody doing this. But sometimes sacrifices must be made in order to destroy bad art. So far, so good. I haven't exploded yet. Smell the extreme goodness. Greasy extreme goodness. This is the most enjoyment I've gotten out of this comic book so far. So we're going to let that fry for a little bit, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so we have successfully flipped the comic. Starting to get a little crusty. The breading is sticking a little bit, but you know, not perfect, but that's to be expected considering we are deep frying paper and not chicken. My fried chicken turned out much better than this, so just putting it out there. I'm not a half bad cook, but this is the first time I've ever cooked a comic. Well, there you go, folks. I think this is about as good as it's going to get. There is your deep fried copy of Youngblood 71. I'm not going to taste it. I'll just say that right now. But I think this is a fitting end for a pretty crappy comic. So, this is Dan from Book Pitt saying, don't try this at home, but feel free to kill bad comics.